Let's talk about the latest exit requirements for all passengers departing Philippines. Let me provide you the information for each passenger. First, for all former Filipino citizens and foreign nationals. First, you will need a foreign passport. If you are a US citizen, the US passport does not need to be valid for 6 months as long as the passport is not expired. Second, you must fill out the Bureau of Immigration declaration form. Also, you must fill out the departure card. Also, some passengers will need an exit clearance from the Bureau of Immigration depending on the length of stay and nature of exit from the Philippines. Let's move on to the Filipino tourists exiting Philippines. There are updated requirements. First, you must have a Philippine passport valid for at least 6 months and beyond, valid visa if required by destination country. Also, you must present financial capacity to travel or different types of documents. You must also fill out Bureau of Immigration declaration form, and you must also have a round-trip ticket. You must also have departure card. If you are a government employee or official, agency authorization or approved travel order will be required. Next, for all first-time immigrants, students, and exchange visitors. Here are the latest requirements. First, you must have a valid Philippine passport, which must be at least 6 months and beyond. Second, valid visa. Also, Bureau of Immigration declaration form. In addition, you must have a CFO certificate and pre-departure seminar from the Commission on Filipino Overseas for first-time immigrants. Lastly, you must have departure card. The next type of passengers are dual citizens and green card holders. Please take note of the requirements. First, Philippine passport or foreign passport or both if you are a dual citizen. Also, if you are a Philippine passport holder, you will have to pay travel tax. For US green card holders, you must not stay more than 1 year abroad. If you are a green card holder, you can still travel back to the US as long as your green card is valid, even if you have overstayed abroad. You must also fill out the latest Bureau of Immigration declaration form and the departure card. Here are the latest requirements for overseas Filipino workers or OFW. First, of course, you must have a valid Philippine passport that is more than or at least 6 months validity. Second, you must have a valid work visa and contract. Also, you must have an overseas employment certificate. In addition, you must also have a pre-departure orientation seminar certificate. Another requirement is that for seafarers, you must have identification and a record book for seamen. You must also fill out the Bureau of Immigration declaration form. And lastly, you must have a departure card. Now, who needs an exit clearance? This is for all foreign nationals, but not all foreign nationals need an exit clearance. ECC means Immigration Exit Clearance, and there are two types, ECC-A and ECC-B. Let's talk about ECC-A. Who needs an exit clearance? The following foreign nationals must secure an ECC-A prior to their departure. First, holders of temporary visitor visa or 9A visa who have stayed in the Philippines for 6 months or more. In addition, those holders of expired or downgraded immigrant or non-immigrant visas. Also, for holders of valid immigrant or non-immigrant visas but are leaving for good. In addition, Philippine-born foreign nationals who will depart from the Philippines for the first time. Also, holders of temporary visitor visa with orders to leave. Also, bona fide seafarers who have stayed in the Philippines for 30 days or more and has a duly approved discharge from the Bureau of Immigration. Now there's another type of exit clearance, ECC-B. ECC-B is issued to departing holders of immigrant and non-immigrant visas with valid ACR cards and are leaving the country temporarily. When to apply for an ECC or exit clearance. Foreign nationals who are departing must apply for an ECC at least 72 hours prior to his or her departure from the Philippines. Also, the ECC is valid for 1 month from the date of issue. However, you may only use this once regardless of its validity. Let's talk about the entry requirements for all passengers going to the US. There are 3 classifications of passengers going to the US. The first classification are US citizens and permanent residents. The second classification of passengers are immigrants or those migrating to the US. The third classification of passengers are non-US citizens who are not immigrants. So there are different requirements for each of these passengers. I'm going to talk about first the requirements for US citizens and permanent residents. Here are the requirements. First, you will be required to provide your contact information to the airline within 72 hours before your flight. Here's the latest checklist for US citizens and permanent residents. Valid US passport for US citizen but does not need to be valid for at least 6 months. Foreign passport that is valid for 6 months for green card holders or permanent residents. Customs declaration form and arrival card. For US citizens traveling back to the US, you don't need to comply with a 6-month validity of US passports. For green card holders, you must present your foreign passport that is valid for at least 6 months and your green card or permanent resident card. US citizens and permanent residents are exempt from the COVID-19 vaccine requirement. This means that you can travel back to the US without being fully vaccinated. In addition, US citizens and permanent residents are not required to fill out the CDC attestation form. Let's talk about the requirements for immigrants. These are passengers who are migrating to the US. Here are the latest requirements for non-US citizens who are immigrants or migrating to the US. First, you must have a foreign passport that is valid for 6 months and beyond. Second, you must have a valid visa and other supporting documents. Also, you must fill out the CDC attestation form. And you must also fill out the customs declaration form and arrival card. All immigrants to the US must provide contact information to the airlines, which will be collected within 72 hours of the flight's departure. Let's talk about the requirements for non-US citizens who are not immigrants. Here are the list of requirements for non-US citizens who are not immigrants or those holders of temporary visa. First, you must have a foreign passport that is valid for 6 months. Also, you must have a valid visa even for transit passengers. Proof of vaccination or covered exemption from COVID vaccination. Also, CDC attestation form, customs declaration form, and arrival card. Please take note that non-US citizens who are not immigrants must be fully vaccinated to enter the US. Also, you must comply with the requirements of a fully vaccinated passenger. There are requirements before boarding your flight and the information that you must submit before traveling to the US. Let's talk about the CDC attestation form. Who are required to fill out the CDC attestation form? US citizens and permanent residents are not required to fill out the CDC attestation form. This is only required for non-US citizens who are not immigrants, and these are for passengers 2 years old and above. There are actually 5 pages to the latest CDC attestation form, and it has an expiration of December 31st, 2022. If you have any other questions or comments, please post them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Again, thank you guys for supporting my channel, and if you haven't liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. I always welcome new subscribers. Thank you guys for watching. I hope everyone is staying safe and have a great day.